Hi everybody, welcome to this mystery wig chat. Now I do realize in a couple days, I'm going to give it about a couple days and then I'm going to have to actually change the title to this or it will not be found in YouTube land and you know I won't come up on any searches at all. So I will eventually have to put what it is and all of that up in the title, but I wanted to keep the mystery alive at least a couple more days. I didn't want to give it away. I know that a lot of you have had your kind of guesses as to what you think this one is here. I've been teasing you now for a couple days, and none of you have been right. So I know a couple of you guessed it was, what is the new one that the La Vivid collection? I see quite a few reviews about it, but anyway, it's not from the UNWASH company at all. It isn't at all. So I feel like there needs to be like some sort of drum roll here. Yes, I wore this to work today. I wore her to work. Those of you who follow me on Instagram may have seen my little post that I did and I teased you a little bit more. But this is a nice kind of bob. It does have some layering, as you can see. I did do a little modification on this. It wasn't a huge modification, but I will talk about that here in just a few seconds. So guys, what do you think this is? Let's start with what you think the brand is. Now, this one isn't real easy for us to come by here in this country, in the United States, so there's a little hint for you. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. This is a Belle Madame or Madame wig, and her name is Amanda Mono. There it is. The mystery has been solved. Yes, and this is called, this is Champagne Root, and I will put the big, long, color-coded, you know, the color number there. It's quite long, and I'll put that down in the comment box for those of you who, you know, are interested in that. But this is Amanda Mono SF from Belle Madame. I just like saying Belle Madame because I think it sounds better than Belle Madame. Okay, so there we go. Here's the box. It's a nice sturdy box, and I appreciate that since I store my wigs back in the box for the most part. And here she is. This is in, what did I say this color was? Champagne Root. Okay. Yes, there is a root to this, but it's, see, there is the line of demarcation there. So there is a root, but when it's styled, it's very, very subtle, that root. I like kind of more of a definite root to my rooting. Now, when I first saw this wig and I took it out of the box, the color, I was just like, oh my gosh, this is so pretty. I love the color immediately until I put it on. This is, it does not suit my skin tone. It's got that very pale yellow kind of tinge to it, and I just don't care for that kind of blonde, if my blondes I'm going to be wearing are going to be very, very light blonde, I just don't like the ones that tend to have that little bit of a yellow tinge to it, and this one definitely does. And I think because there's some really pale honey color in here that's kind of interwoven with the really light blonde, and I think it's that pale honey color that kind of overall gives it that bit of yellow to it. And so, and when I put it on, I thought, I don't like this that much. Yeah, so that is the first thing that I noticed about it that I'm not too fond of. But as for the style, I do like this length. I think it's probably my favorite length. This is quite reminiscent to the straight up with a twist, which is why I think I was attracted to this style to begin with, because it's very similar to that length and very similar to the overall kind of feel of straight up with a twist. So before I show you the front, sides, and whatnot, I do want to let you know that I did modify this a little bit. And what I did is I kind of just cut in a very wispy, more of a side swept bang, just a tiny, tiny bit. And I didn't bring it down straight and cut it like that. I figured out about where I wanted that to be and got a good feel for that. And then I actually brought it straight up and cut it to the angle I needed it with some thinning shears. That way when it falls, it's very wispy, and I didn't want, you know, blunt cut edges on that. And what that does is it does wisp out the end, and it tends to stay a little bit better, you know, if that makes sense at all. So yeah, I did put in this little side swept bang here, and then I did lift up probably from about here, a little kind of triangular bit here. I lifted that straight up and then kind of used the thinning shears and cut it straight across up top and let it fall. That way you have a little bit more layering going on. It took a little bit more of the weight off. I don't know. I don't mind that straight bob, but for some reason this one, it needed something. It needed a little bit more softness in the front. And so that's what I did. So I wanted you to know that, because out of the box, it's not going to look exactly like this if it's something that you really like. So just to be aware that a lot of these little front layers is something that I went ahead and did for this wig. Now, there was a little bit of layering already, so it's not like this haircut was straight and there was no layering all the way to the bottom. Nope. It really didn't take much at all, just a tiny little section, and so I don't want you to think that I gave it a complete overhaul, you know, a haircut, because that's not the case. So you can find a review on this wig that you will see what it looks like right out of the box. And Taz will, she has it, because I actually bought this wig from her eBay site that she has, and it is the wig that she reviewed. So check that out, by the way, if you aren't aware that she does have an eBay account there that you can look to see what sort of wigs that she is getting rid of, and you can get very good prices. So I really recommend that. And I'm actually going to be doing the same thing. I have a few wigs that I am going to be selling on eBay, but before I actually list them on eBay, I'll let you know which ones I'm going to be selling. So if any of you are going to, you know, be interested, I would rather you guys have a crack at it before I stick it on eBay. So I just want to give you a heads up on that. So I think that's a fantastic way to go about getting some of these wigs at a really good price. I don't shop though with anyone else. Honestly, I just don't trust a lot of the other sellers when it comes to wigs. And anyway, I just would say be very careful over there on eBay when buying wigs. Really trust, know the seller. Trust, have some trust there, because there are some knockoffs. It's yeah, you got to be careful when you're buying wigs on eBay. So anyway, I will put her eBay site down in the comment box and you can check it out. I think she has about 4 wigs on there right now. Okay. So yeah, that would be a good thing for you to do, is to check out her review on this very same wig. It will show you what it looks like right out of the box. So you'll get a good idea if you do decide to order one, what it will look like. It's not much different than this. I didn't do a whole lot. I just want you guys to know. Okay, so what else did I do with this wig? Well, before I turn, I put dry shampoo in it. This baby was shiny. Shiny. So I had to put some dry shampoo in this, which really changed the texture. Those of you that really like that soft feel, it's gonna take that away. You know, putting that dry shampoo in there gives you a gritty feel, but it also gives a great surface for your styling products to stick to, and therefore give you better performance from those styling products. So I dry shampooed the Gigi out of this. I really did. And still, it has quite a bit of shine, but it's nothing like it was. And I have used the Jon Renau holding spray in this. And did I use anything else? I don't think I used anything else. I think I dry shampooed and then I used the holding spray because it's a really easy style to deal with. It's a pretty much a shake and go. I just could not deal with the shine, and it was very, very straight and very, very soft. And you know, I like to have my wigs look a little different and behave a little differently. So that is completely, you know, an individual thing. But it is a real easy style to wear. Not a lot of fussing that needs to go on with a style like this. So dry shampooed. I did do some very light layering in the front, put a little bit more of a side bang in, and holding spray. And so here's the front. And here's the right side. And the left side. I do notice that this hair does this little kind of thing. It kind of does this. And I don't know if that would go away when I, you know, immerse it in some water, and you know how I wash my wigs now with the Downy fabric softener bath. I don't know if that is put into this wig as a permanent style or if it's just did that because it was in the box. But anyway, yeah, this one at least does tend to go like that. And then I will attempt to show you the back. This is not ideal setup here for this, but it's a really nice, just a very comfortable length. And I really love the light layering that they have in here that happens right kind of as it gets, you know, toward the bottom of this kind of short bob here. And that's kind of why I thought it would look nice if there was a little bit of layering, a little bit more layering in the front, I should say, because all of this was already, you know, in the wig. I don't want you to think that I went throughout this whole wig and cut it up at all. Not at all. I mean, didn't take off hardly any hair, didn't do much, but it was just enough. And that's something, you guys, I have to say, be very careful if you decide to trim your wig, if you decide to put in a bang or anything like that, because you will not need to take much hair section. You don't need to cut much hair to make a big impact, okay? When somebody asks me, hey, how do you think this wig would do if I put a little bang in? It's like, you can do anything to any of your wigs if you know, want to put in a little side bang or do anything like that. I always say take less than you think you need and cut it longer than you think you should, because inevitably that's what happens. Too much hair is sectioned out to cut and it ends up being too short. And there's nothing we can do about that, unfortunately. So that's the little bit of modification that I did with this wig. So let's talk about this lace front. Well, it is a very nice lace front, I have to say. I think it's really very nice. I think it's a little dense, I will say that. I like my, the very beginning of my lace fronts to be just a little tiny bit sparse, not super. Now, I also think it depends on the color for me. I don't know, because I do have to tell you that, for instance, Mina, that is also a pretty dense lace front, but for some reason it's just gorgeous to me. I don't know. Okay, the other thing that's really peculiar for me is that usually, as you know, wigs tend to give me good coverage across the board. There are exceptions to that, but because I measure 12 inches from here to here, 12 from here to here, and then I forgot what my diameter is. Oh, am I 21 all the way around? And a little bit more, a little less, probably around 21 and a quarter, maybe a little less. But these measurements read very small on, you know, the charts. And I think that's why wigs tend to come down quite far, and I do have good coverage through here. And it can be a little annoying actually because they tend to come down very low. And if that happens, they come down very low behind my ear. But then they fit fine here and the diameter is fine. So it's a bit of a quandary, you know, debacle. But this wig fits me quite small. It fits me fine from here to here. But the coverage is a lot less than my other a lot of my other wigs, and the ear tabs stop here, which is probably normal for everyone. I have a warped sense of I think what a normal wig should feel like and fit. I do. So for me, this comes down seems a little small to me. I'm just going to say that. But it's fabulous because my glasses actually fit on and I don't have to fight with them. And there is that bit of gap that Patty recommends, which is a finger. You should be able to get a finger between your ear and where the wig starts, here and back here. And that I do have that. So I'm thinking that wigs are supposed to fit like this on me. And I'm like, man, I wish I had a little more coverage. So anyway, so this one, it does fit smaller than my other wigs. And I've talked to another gal that has this wig as well, one of my subscribers, and she looks so cute in it. And same with her, she said, yeah, it definitely fits smaller than her other wigs. So be aware of that. That's why I like to put my measurements down in the comment box. I try to remember. So that way, when I talk about these things, you can look down there and go, oh, okay, yeah, that's similar to my head measurement. So anyway, now, the other thing is I wish this root was a little bit more noticeable because I don't like the same color look all the way around the perimeter of the hair. I just think it looks really wiggy to me. The styling of this wig, again, I put dry shampoo in to get rid of that shine. That was my main motivation for that dry shampoo this time. And so then it really does, see, it gets very, with the dry shampoo, it loses that luster and that softness, but I don't ever have a problem with that unless they're medium to long length wigs. Then it's like, no, you don't want that to happen. But with this one, it kind of brings out the layering a little bit, and I prefer that a lot. I do prefer that. I am a left side parter for the most part. I will wear wigs. This is a synthetic wig brush, by the way. And I do like to use it sometimes just to separate the fibers a little bit. You cannot, I would not use this on an HD fiber at all. and putting that dry shampoo in and some holding spray, it allows you to kind of get the layers off of themselves, you know, and you really can fluff it and it'll stay where you fluff it. Whereas when it's very soft and there's nothing in there, it may start out this way, but it's going to eventually sort of fall. And over time, this will too. But it's really hard to take advantage of a really nice shaped haircut when it's very soft and stuck to the cap. So you can absolutely transform some wigs that you may already have by getting in there and really seeing how beautiful that cut is. You know, just by doing this, look at that. It's really a pretty nice, soft, feminine bob. Whereas when you take it out of the box and put it on your head, all you see is just this very kind of cute, you know, bob, but nonetheless, it's you don't see the really pretty layering that they have in here, you know. And then if you really want that to kind of stay, you add a little bit of the holding spray, which you probably will already have in there to begin with, because remember, this will weigh down the fibers. So to start, you really have to get this down into the cap kind of, so those ends will, you know, lift up and kind of get off of the cap, and the dry shampoo will help that happen as well. The other thing that styling in this way does for your wigs, and even your human hair for that matter, is it also brings attention to the color. The coloring, the highlights, the dynamicness of the color that's in your wigs. When you work with it in this way, it brings that out more because you're bringing the texture to life. What in the world do I have on me? Because you're kind of bringing that style to life, and therefore the color is really, it comes forth as well. So this is a very kind of simple bob. It's a very traditional haircut and style. And yet when you add a little of this product, you know, you can really turn it into a kind of a whole different, you can bring it up a level. That's all. You could wear it like this at night and wear it very sleek and cute to work. And that's the fun of using product and playing with it just a little bit. You can put this behind the ear. I always like to take a little bit out around my face just to kind of, you know, hide that little wig line right through there. So if you bring this down, it hides that a little bit. Sure, if the wind blows, it's going to do that, and you might have to do that a little bit. But I don't know. These things tend to become second nature, I'm noticing. You know, after a while, you just kind of don't think about it. You just kind of cover your bases, and it's no big deal. But yeah, really pretty layering that's going through there. And I did not add this layering in. That was part of the wig already. I think that this length is very versatile, and that's why I love my straight up with a twist so much, because it's very similar to this and it is very versatile. And these kind of cuts, don't think that you just have to wear it in that little page boy kind of cut, you know, style, the bob, all the time. These are cute pulled up. They're cute tucked behind the ear. You can put clips in them. You can put headbands in them. You can put cute little scarves in them. There are a lot of things you can do with this length. And this does remind me so much of Straight Up with a Twist, I think. It's a very similar cut. The fibers feel a little differently. Don't forget, the Straight Up with a Twist is a heat-friendly fiber. This one is not. This is your basic, you know, synthetic. Now, Belle Madame, as we know, is a very nice, beautiful brand. So it is, you know, very nice fibers. They feel very nice. And that wig cap is also very nice. It's very comfortable. I do have to say that. I have worn this wig all day long today. I wore it to work, and it's very comfortable. It is. It's a very comfortable wig. And I really think a lot of that has to do with the fact that it's not fitting me so close to the ears. I've grown to get used to that because most of my wigs do. And I know that you can remove wefts to make them fit you a little better, and I have not tried that. I am really afraid to do that. So I probably will not. But I know that can be done to have those wigs kind of fit you a little bit better. Again, I've grown very used to it. And then I put a wig on that doesn't do that behind my ear, and I'm like, huh, it actually feels like it probably should. So, yeah. But what is nice, and again, same with the straight up with the twist, what is nice about this type of haircut is that it's an easy wear. You don't have to put anything in it. You don't have to style it like crazy because it's the basic beautiful shape and style and cut is there. So it is an easy one to just put on, maybe put a little bit of hairspray in it to keep it out of your face, and it's good. It's good to go, and that's nice. And the versatility comes in when you get home, and if your husband says, hey, let's go out to dinner, and it's a pretty nice place, and then you can put a little more hairspray in, lift it up, put it behind the ear, put a pretty clip in, whatever, and that's the fun of this length and this type of haircut in these wigs, I think, in general. All right, I'm gonna wrap this one up. I'm gonna have to edit the hoo-hees out of this one. This is Belle Madame. Really a very gorgeous, cute wig, shaped impeccably, really pretty. Love the fibers, comfortable. My only personal issue is the color, that hairline. It's very non-dimensional to me. Color-wise, I think it looks a little wiggy because of that. Nice lace front though. And again, like I said, it is very comfortable. So I'm gonna be wanting one of those Carlottas next time Sister Wigs has them available. I kick myself for not getting one. This is Amanda Mono, SF in Champagne Root. Thank you so much for joining me, guys, for this wig chat. You will find me next week reviewing yet another wig. And don't forget, tune in for my Sunday Gap Sesh. Bye-bye.